Have you ever shared an intimate moment with your wife, your husband, or your partner, and instead of feeling closer afterward, you were left with questions you did not know how to ask? Maybe there was a moment that felt intense, emotional, surprising, or even confusing. Maybe one partner wanted to understand what it meant, while the other felt shy, exposed, or afraid of being judged. And suddenly, something that should have created closeness became something neither of you knew how to talk about. For many couples, intimacy is not just physical. It touches trust, safety, confidence, memories, pressure, and the quiet fear of not being understood. A woman may smile on the outside, but feel uncertain inside. A man may feel proud, confused, or worried that he reacted the wrong way. And both may lie next to each other afterward, close in distance, but far apart in words. If you have ever wondered what a woman may truly feel in a deeply vulnerable, intimate moment, and why a partner's response can either create emotional closeness or quiet distance, this video will help you understand it with more calm, respect, and compassion. And before we go deeper, let me say this gently. Many couples have never been taught how to talk about intimate experiences with maturity. They may love each other deeply, they may share a home, raise children, pay bills, sleep in the same bed, and still feel completely unsure about how to speak when something vulnerable happens between them. That is why this conversation matters. Because for many women, an intense, intimate response is not only about the body, it can also bring up emotion. It can bring up surprise. It can bring up relief, embarrassment, tenderness, uncertainty, or even a sudden feeling of being deeply seen. And for many men, that same moment can create confusion. They may wonder, was that good? Was she comfortable? Did I do something right? Did I make her feel safe, or did I make her feel exposed? The truth is, what a woman feels in that moment can be very different from what a man imagines. Some women feel a powerful sense of release, not just physical release, but emotional release, almost like the body finally stopped guarding itself for a moment, like the mind became quiet, like the pressure to be perfect, attractive, responsive, young, confident, or easy to understand disappeared for a few seconds. For a woman who has been carrying stress, fatigue, self-doubt, hormonal changes, relationship tension, or years of feeling disconnected from her own body, that kind of moment can feel overwhelming. Not always because it is negative, but because it is vulnerable. She may feel close to her partner, but also shy. She may feel relieved, but also embarrassed. She may feel happy, but also worried about how he will react. And this is where many couples misunderstand each other. A man may see the moment and think it is only about passion, but the woman may be thinking, did I look strange? Did he think that was too much? Will he expect this every time? Is he going to talk about it in a way that makes me feel exposed? That is why the partner's reaction matters so much. If this message speaks to you, consider subscribing to Dr. Liana Brooks Wellness. This channel is here for calm, respectful guidance on marriage, intimacy, emotional connection, and the private questions many couples are afraid to ask out loud. And I encourage you to stay with me until the end, because we are going to talk about how couples can understand this experience without pressure, shame, or confusion. One of the most important things to understand is that not every woman experiences intimacy in the same way. Some women are very expressive. Some are quiet. Some feel deeply connected through physical closeness. Others need emotional safety first before their body can relax. Some women are comfortable with intense responses. Others may feel surprised by their own body, especially if they were never taught that pleasure, sensitivity, and emotional vulnerability can all exist together. This is why it can be harmful when men compare their partner to what they have seen online, heard from friends, or imagined from unrealistic conversations. Real intimacy in marriage is not a performance. It is not a scene. It is not proof that a man is powerful or that a woman is satisfied in a simple, predictable way. Real intimacy is much more human than that. Sometimes a woman's body responds, but emotionally she still needs reassurance. Sometimes she may enjoy closeness, but her mind is busy worrying. Sometimes she may want affection, but she is afraid of disappointing her partner. Sometimes she may love her husband, but feel disconnected from desire because of stress, menopause, pain, exhaustion, resentment, grief, or years of emotional distance. And sometimes, when a strong physical response happens, it does not automatically mean everything in the relationship is healed. It does not mean communication is perfect. It does not mean she feels completely secure. It simply means the body had a response in that moment. What matters afterward is how both partners handle it. For many women, the emotional aftermath is just as important as the experience itself. Imagine a wife who has been feeling distant from her husband for months. They still care about each other. They still share daily responsibilities. They may even laugh sometimes. But there is a quiet space between them. They avoid certain conversations. They do not want to argue. They do not want to hurt each other. So they stay polite, but not fully close. Then one night, there is a moment of unexpected tenderness. Her body responds in a way that surprises both of them. For him, it may feel exciting. For her, it may feel like her body revealed something she was not prepared to explain. If he reacts with gentleness, if he says nothing embarrassing, if he stays calm and affectionate, she may feel safer. She may think, he is not judging me. He is still here with me. I can be vulnerable. But if he reacts with too much excitement, teasing, joking, pressure, or questions that feel like interrogation, she may pull away. Not because she did not care, not because she did not enjoy closeness, but because she suddenly feels observed instead of loved. That difference is very important. Many women do not want their intimate responses to become a performance review. They do not want to feel like their body is being studied, measured, or used as proof of someone else's success. They want to feel respected. They want to feel emotionally held. They want to feel like they are still a whole person, not just a reaction. This is especially important for couples over 35, 40, 50, and 60, because intimacy changes over time. Bodies change, hormones change, energy changes, confidence changes. Desire may become more connected to emotional warmth than physical urgency. A woman may need more patience, more reassurance, more tenderness, and more emotional presence. A man may also need reassurance because he may worry that changes in intimacy mean he is no longer desired or no longer enough. But many couples suffer silently because neither partner knows how to start the conversation. One partner feels rejected. The other feels pressured. One partner wants closeness. The other feels emotionally tired. One partner asks, "Why don't you want me anymore?" The other thinks, "I do want you, but I don't know how to relax, and I don't know how to explain what is happening inside me." This is why a woman's intense, intimate response should never be treated like a simple answer to a complicated relationship. It is one piece of a much bigger emotional picture. What women may really feel in that moment is often a mixture. She may feel pleasure, but also exposure. She may feel trust, but also fear of being misunderstood. She may feel relief, but also emotional sensitivity. She may feel closer to her partner, but only if he responds with care. And men need to understand this. The goal is not to create a dramatic reaction. The goal is to create a safe connection. When a man becomes focused only on making something happen, intimacy can begin to feel stressful. The woman may start to feel like she is being expected to respond a certain way. She may feel watched. She may feel like she has to prove that she is enjoying herself. And when pressure enters the room, emotional safety often leaves. A woman's body is not a machine. It does not respond well to pressure, performance, or expectation. It responds more naturally to safety, trust, patience, affection, and feeling emotionally accepted. So, if a man truly wants to understand what a woman feels, he needs to listen beyond the body. He needs to notice her comfort, her breathing, her emotional tone, her ability to relax afterward, her willingness to talk, her need for gentleness, her need not to be rushed into explaining something she may still be processing. If you value this kind of calm and respectful guidance, you can subscribe to Dr. Liana Brooks Wellness. Here, we talk about the parts of marriage and intimacy that many people experience but rarely know how to discuss. And please keep watching because the most important part is not the reaction itself. It is what happens between the couple afterward. After an intense, intimate moment, one of the most healing things a partner can do is stay emotionally steady. Not cold, not silent, not overly excited, just steady, warm, and respectful. A simple, gentle response can mean more than many men realize. Something like, "Are you okay?" said softly, not anxiously. Or, "You don't have to feel embarrassed." Or, "I'm here with you." These small words can help a woman feel safe in her own body. But the tone matters. If the question sounds like panic, she may feel something went wrong. If it sounds like curiosity mixed with judgment, she may shut down. If it sounds kind and calm, she may feel cared for. Many women have spent years feeling responsible for other people's emotions. They manage the household mood. They avoid hurting their partner's feelings. They worry about being attractive enough, responsive enough, loving enough, calm enough. So in intimacy, if something unexpected happens, a woman may immediately start managing the man's reaction instead of staying connected to her own feelings. She may ask herself, "Did he like that? Did I make a mess? Was that too much? Will he expect this again? Will he tell someone? Will he think differently of me?" That is why trust is so central. A woman is more likely to feel emotionally safe when she knows her partner will protect the privacy of their intimate life, that he will not joke about it, he will not pressure her, he will not turn it into a goal, he will not make her feel like she owes him a repeat performance. Respect after intimacy builds safety before the next moment of intimacy. And for women listening, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not strange. You are not too much. You are not broken if your body responds strongly, and you are not broken if it does not. There is no single correct way to experience closeness. Your body, your emotions, your comfort, your boundaries, and your voice all matter. You do not have to pretend. You do not have to perform. You do not have to explain everything immediately. And you do not have to feel ashamed for needing tenderness afterward. Sometimes women feel emotional after intense closeness because the body and heart are more connected than people realize. If you have been lonely in your marriage, a moment of closeness can bring relief and sadness at the same time. If you have been feeling invisible, being desired can feel beautiful but also painful. If you have felt rejected in the past, receiving attention can feel comforting but also difficult to trust. This is why intimacy is not only about what happens in the bedroom. It is connected to what happens in the kitchen, in the car, in the hallway, during arguments, during silence, during ordinary evenings when one partner is trying to talk and the other is distracted. A woman may not relax deeply with someone who only notices her when intimacy is desired. She may need to feel emotionally valued in everyday life. She may need kindness when there is no expectation. She may need help when she is tired. She may need tenderness in conversation. She may need to feel that her feelings are not inconvenient. And men need this too. Men also need reassurance. Men also carry fear of rejection. Men also wonder if they are still wanted. Men also feel hurt when closeness disappears and no one explains why. So the healthiest conversation is not, "Why did this happen?" or "How do we make it happen again?" The healthier conversation is, "How did you feel? Did you feel safe with me? Was there anything you needed from me afterward? How can we make intimacy feel more comfortable and connected for both of us?" These questions bring couples closer because they focus on emotional safety rather than performance. Another important point is that intimacy should never become a test of love. A woman's response does not prove how much she loves her partner. A man's ability to create a certain reaction does not prove his worth. Couples can have beautiful, meaningful intimacy without dramatic moments. They can also experience intense moments and still need better communication. The real goal is not intensity. The real goal is connection. When couples understand this, the pressure softens. A woman does not have to feel like her body is being evaluated. A man does not have to feel like his confidence depends on a specific outcome. Both partners can return to something calmer and more loving: presence, patience, affection, honesty, and care. And if there has been distance in the marriage, this kind of conversation can become a doorway. Not a magic solution, but a doorway. It can help couples say things they have avoided for years. I miss feeling close to you. I get nervous talking about this. I want us to feel safe again. I don't always know how to ask for what I need. I still love you, but I don't know how to find our closeness again. These are not weak statements. They are mature statements. They are the kind of honest words that can begin to soften years of silence. Near the end of this conversation, I want to remind you that many couples are not broken. They are simply undereducated about intimacy, emotion, stress, hormones, aging, and communication. They were never taught how to talk about desire with kindness. They were never taught how to handle vulnerability without embarrassment. They were never taught that emotional safety is not extra. It is central. If this video helped you feel less alone, consider subscribing to Dr. Liana Brooks Wellness. This is a space for adults and couples who want to understand intimacy with more maturity, compassion, and emotional honesty. And as you continue watching these conversations, you may begin to see that many private struggles in marriage can be approached with more calm than shame. So what do women really feel in a deeply intense, intimate moment? The honest answer is, it depends on the woman, the relationship, the emotional safety, the trust, the timing, and what happens afterward. Some feel joy, some feel release, some feel exposed, some feel shy, some feel deeply connected. Some feel overwhelmed, some feel confused, and many feel more than one thing at the same time. But what most women need is not a partner who is shocked, proud, demanding, or confused in a way that makes her feel alone. What she often needs is a partner who is present, a partner who is kind, a partner who can stay emotionally mature, a partner who understands that intimacy is not just about the body responding, but about the heart feeling safe enough to stay open. And that is where real closeness begins. Not in chasing a reaction, not in comparing your marriage to someone else's, not in turning intimacy into pressure. Real closeness begins when two people can be vulnerable without being judged, when they can talk without blame, when they can laugh gently without humiliation, when they can admit confusion without becoming defensive, when they can touch, speak, and listen in a way that says, "You are safe with me." If there has been silence between you, it does not mean everything is lost. If intimacy has become confusing, it does not mean love is gone. If your body, your emotions, or your marriage feel different than they used to, it may simply mean it is time to understand each other in a deeper, kinder way. Because intimacy is not only something couples do, it is something couples build. And with patience, honesty, respect, and compassion, many couples can begin to move from confusion toward understanding, from pressure toward safety, and from distance toward a softer kind of connection. If you are struggling with emotional distance, low desire, intimacy changes, confusion, rejection, or a quiet pain in your marriage that you do not know how to explain, you are not alone. Consider subscribing to Dr. Liana Brooks Wellness for calm, compassionate guidance on marriage, intimacy, and emotional connection. And stay with me until the end, because this conversation may help you understand the deeper emotional pattern behind why closeness fades and what can help couples reconnect with more patience, safety, and understanding.